Little House on the Prairie remains one of television's most beloved family dramas, remembered for its emotional storytelling, wholesome values, and unforgettable frontier adventures. Inspired by Laura Ingalls Wilder's classic books, the series ran for 9 successful seasons and produced more than 200 episodes that captivated audiences around the world. Viewers tuned in each week to watch the Ingalls family face the hardships of pioneer life with courage, faith, and determination. The show explored difficult subjects that many family programs avoided at the time, including poverty, alcoholism, racism, blindness, child abuse, and even addiction. Despite these heavy themes, the series always carried a message of hope and resilience that resonated deeply with audiences. Yet behind the warm stories and heartfelt lessons, there were many fascinating secrets hidden from viewers. Some were subtle production mistakes, while others involved surprising facts about the actors themselves. From hidden bloopers and reused scripts to dramatic backstage relationships and difficult filming conditions, the making of the series was far more complicated than fans realized. Decades later, viewers still discover details they missed during the original broadcasts. Looking closer at the show reveals an entirely new layer of history behind the famous Prairie town and the unforgettable family at its center. Michael Landon's image was carefully crafted. Michael Landon became the heart of Little House on the Prairie through his portrayal of Charles Ingalls, the wise and loving father known affectionately as Quat, Paw. On screen, he appeared rugged, healthy, and almost larger than life, with his famous chestnut-colored hair and charming smile. However, many viewers never realized that Landon's appearance required constant maintenance behind the scenes. In reality, he began going grey while still in his 20s and regularly dyed his hair to preserve the youthful image audiences associated with him. Filming outdoors under the harsh California sun often caused the color to fade quickly, creating continuity problems during production. Landon's carefully maintained image also contrasted with aspects of his personal life. While Charles Ingalls was portrayed as a devoted non-drinker who often encouraged Isaiah Edwards to stop drinking, Landon himself reportedly drank heavily and smoked cigarettes constantly. Cast members recalled him lighting cigarettes between takes, sometimes while still wearing his costume gloves. Melissa Gilbert later admitted she found his rebellious confidence impressive as a child actor. Landon's public persona represented the ideal television father, but behind the scenes he carried personal struggles similar to many Hollywood stars of his era. These hidden contrasts between actor and character make his performance even more intriguing to longtime fans. Family connections behind the cast. One fascinating aspect of Little House on the Prairie was the number of real-life family relationships hidden within the cast. Melissa Gilbert, who portrayed Laura Ingalls, was adopted as an infant by actors Paul Gilbert and Barbara Crane. Her television co-star, Jonathan Gilbert, who played Willie Oleson, was also adopted into the same family, making the two siblings in real life despite their very different characters on screen. Years later, Barbara Crane remarried and had another daughter, actress Sarah Gilbert, who eventually became famous for her roles on Roseanne and The Big Bang Theory. Interestingly, viewers often noticed a believable sibling chemistry between Melissa and Jonathan during emotional scenes, especially in later seasons. Another pair of adopted brothers also appeared on the show. Matthew Labiorteau portrayed Albert Ingalls, while his brother Patrick played Andy Garvey. Both overcame difficult childhood health issues before entering acting. Matthew even played a younger Charles Ingalls in one episode. The show also featured identical twins, Lindsay and Sydney Greenbush, as Carrie Ingalls. Many viewers assumed Carrie was played by a single actress because the twins were credited together. Their shared role became one of television's most recognizable child performances. These real family ties added another layer of authenticity to the emotional world of Walnut Grove. Hardships and heat on the Prairie set. Although Walnut Grove looked peaceful and picturesque on television, filming conditions at Big Sky Ranch in California were often extremely difficult. Summer temperatures regularly climbed into triple digits, and the heavy pioneer costumes made conditions unbearable for many cast members. The actresses suffered especially because they wore thick dresses, petticoats, corsets, and layers of fabric under the blazing sun. Fainting from heat exhaustion became surprisingly common during production. Alison Arngrim, who portrayed the mischievous Nellie Oleson, struggled greatly with the weather and the demanding requirements of her costume. Her famous blonde curls were not natural. During the early weeks of filming, her real hair was painfully curled using heated metal irons before producers eventually replaced the process with a specially designed wig. Unfortunately, the wig created new problems because it had to be secured with long metal pins that often stabbed her scalp and caused bleeding. Arngrim later recalled the experience as painful and exhausting. Even dramatic scenes carried real danger. During the famous wheelchair scene in which Nellie rolls downhill toward a pond, Arngrim's terrified screams were genuine because a safety rope reportedly snapped before filming began. These difficult conditions reveal how much dedication the cast showed while bringing pioneer life convincingly to television audiences. Karen Grassel and conflicts behind the camera. Karen Grassel became famous as Caroline Ingalls, the gentle and dependable mother of the Ingalls family. Her performance helped define the emotional warmth that made the series so beloved. However, Grassel later revealed that her professional relationship with Michael Landon was not always easy. According to interviews she gave years later, tensions developed over salary negotiations when the show became one of television's top-rated programs. Grassel believed she deserved a pay increase equal to her importance within the cast, but Landon reportedly refused to renegotiate her contract. The disagreement created lasting frustration for the actress. Interestingly, Grassel had originally auditioned using the stage name Gabriel Tree, but Landon encouraged her to use her real name because he believed it sounded more sincere and wholesome for audiences. Beyond career struggles, Grassel also battled alcoholism during parts of her life. She later spoke openly about how alcohol affected both herself and fellow cast members Michael Landon and Victor French. While French's on-screen character, Isaiah Edwards, struggled with drinking, the actor himself reportedly faced similar issues off-camera. Grassel eventually overcame her addiction by the late 1970s. Her honesty about these challenges gave fans a more realistic understanding of the pressures actors faced while creating such an emotionally uplifting television series. Reused stories and familiar faces. Before creating Little House on the Prairie, Michael Landon spent many years starring in the Western television hit Bonanza. When he later became writer, producer, and director for Little House, he occasionally reused story ideas, scripts, and even musical themes from his earlier series. Several episodes from Bonanza were adapted into Prairie stories with only minor changes to titles or plot details. One example involved a Bonanza episode called He Was Only 7, which was later reworked into a Little House episode titled He Was Only 12. Fans familiar with both series often notice similarities in themes and character situations. Landon reportedly believed strongly in efficiency and disliked wasting time or resources, especially while balancing multiple creative roles at once. Many actors also appeared in both programs. Mitch Vogel acted in Bonanza before later joining Little House in early episodes. This overlap created a sense of continuity between the two shows and reflected Landon's preference for working with familiar performers. His demanding schedule required him to juggle acting, directing, writing, and producing simultaneously, making recycled material practical rather than lazy. Even with these repeated elements, audiences remained deeply invested in the stories because Landon's emotional storytelling style connected powerfully with viewers across multiple generations of television fans. Melissa Gilbert's difficult transition to adulthood. Melissa Gilbert grew up before audiences' eyes while portraying Laura Ingalls, but her transition from child star to young adult was not always comfortable. One particularly awkward challenge involved the romantic storyline between Laura and Almanzo Wilder. On the series, Laura married Almanzo at 17, yet Gilbert herself was only 15 during filming. Her co-star Dean Butler, who portrayed Almanzo, was already 23 years old. Gilbert later admitted she was shy, inexperienced, and nervous during romantic scenes. In fact, she had kissed very few boys before filming began. The age difference and emotional pressure made intimate scenes especially uncomfortable for the young actress. Butler reportedly tried to ease her anxiety by quietly singing playful songs before filming kisses, but Gilbert remained embarrassed by many of the scenes. She later asked Michael Landon to limit romantic moments between the characters whenever possible. Beyond the on-screen discomfort, Gilbert also witnessed painful changes in Landon's personal life. She grew close to his family during childhood and considered them almost relatives. When Landon divorced his longtime wife Lynn and married makeup artist Cindy Clerico, the situation deeply affected Gilbert emotionally. Although she remained professional on set, she distanced herself personally from Landon for many years afterward. These experiences shaped her complicated memories of growing up on television, emotional storylines that changed television. One reason Little House on the Prairie stood apart from many family dramas was its willingness to explore difficult emotional subjects with seriousness and compassion. The storyline involving Mary Ingalls losing her eyesight became one of the show's most memorable and groundbreaking developments. Actress Melissa Sue Anderson revealed that this was the first time a regular television character permanently lost vision without eventually recovering. The emotional impact on audiences was enormous because viewers had watched Mary grow from childhood into young adulthood before tragedy struck. Anderson initially worried that the blindness storyline would reduce her role on the show, limiting what her character could realistically do. However, Michael Landon encouraged her to trust the creative direction. Her powerful performance eventually earned an Emmy nomination. Despite the recognition, Anderson later admitted the storyline restricted future opportunities for her character, contributing to her decision to leave the series after appearing only occasionally during later seasons. The show's willingness to embrace permanent consequences made its stories feel more realistic than many television programs of the era. Rather than relying on simple happy endings, Little House often explored pain, loss, disability, and hardship in ways that challenged audiences emotionally. These bold storytelling choices helped the series remain meaningful long after its original broadcast years ended. Explosive final episodes and lasting legacy. By the early 1980s, Little House on the Prairie had enjoyed an impressive television run, but declining ratings and changing storylines eventually led Michael Landon to conclude the series. Landon believed Laura's adulthood made it increasingly unrealistic for her to continue relying heavily on her father, which altered the emotional foundation of the program. Rather than quietly ending production, Landon chose an unforgettable finale for the final television movie, The Last Farewell. In the story, the residents of Walnut Grove destroy their own town to prevent a ruthless land developer from taking control of it. Remarkably, the dramatic explosions shown on screen were real. NBC required the production company to restore the filming location to its original condition after production ended because the land was leased from private owners. Producers initially planned to dismantle the sets normally, but Landon proposed blowing up the buildings instead. He believed explosions would destroy the structures more efficiently while creating a powerful emotional ending for viewers. The result became one of the most shocking and memorable finales in television history. Watching Walnut Grove disappear in flames symbolized the end of an era not only for the characters but also for audiences who had spent nearly a decade emotionally invested in the Ingalls family and their frontier community. Why Little House on the Prairie still matters today. Decades after its original broadcast, Little House on the Prairie continues to attract devoted fans because its stories remain emotionally timeless. The series balanced warmth, humor, tragedy, and moral lessons in ways that still resonate with audiences of all ages. Beyond the wholesome image many remember, the show's production history reveals a fascinating world, filled with hidden struggles, personal conflicts, demanding filming conditions, and surprising backstage secrets. Michael Landon's leadership shaped nearly every aspect of the series, from writing and directing to casting and storytelling. Meanwhile, the actors themselves faced real-life hardships that often contrasted sharply with their on-screen personas. Fans who revisit the show today often discover bloopers, continuity mistakes, and subtle details they missed years earlier. Yet these imperfections only add to the charm and humanity of the production. The emotional sincerity of the performances continues to outweigh any technical flaws or behind-the-scenes drama. Whether viewers remember the heartbreaking tragedies, the humorous Olsen family antics, or the touching Ingalls family moments, the series remains a powerful reflection of perseverance and compassion. Looking closely at the hidden stories behind Little House on the Prairie reveals not just television history, but also the remarkable dedication of the people who brought Walnut Grove to life for generations of viewers.